this right now.
Just take me out.
Just take me out, guys. 'Cause you know how upset
Jonas
you
like,
have to be to
I've
say
had it
something
up
like
to
that.
here with you.
That must have been
I
13
feel like
reasons.
Jonah was probably saying that's why the man take a video in my youth.
Exactly.
Cause
You're
yeah,
too nice.
You're not over the swiftness.
You're too
Cause
nice.
you gotta tell the man say I gotta burn up this. I'm gonna tell them say I gotta burn up this. I ain't
You
gonna burn
know,
up
but
this.
it's up.
Yo, we're glad to have you guys in this great space. We are your hosts.
Mandy.
Candace.
Brandon, thank you guys all for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, getting the videos out there on a daily basis. We appreciate the love and support from the bottom of our hearts. We are back in our
We're
space.
out of the car.
We're out of the car. Yes, those car episodes, they serve their purpose. But we are here again. We are together again, just praising the Lord. And we're just gonna have a good time.
Yep.
Just gonna have a good time. Put out some content. Thank you guys for the love and the support. We didn't get to upload to you guys last week. Okay, you know, some technical difficulties occurred. And you guys still came out and showed love. So we appreciate that. We like that. It doesn't matter what we give you. If it's nothing at all, you guys still hang around. So we appreciate you guys for that. You know.
I don't know if I like how that sound.
You mean you like that song?
It doesn't matter what we give you. It does matter what
It does
we
matter what we give
do.
them.
We just appreciate that.
I'm not saying what we give them doesn't matter. It's whatever we don't have, they still stick around. You know what I mean? So yeah, the verse of the day is.
The verse of the day is taken from 1 Peter 5, verse 6. Humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time.
Yes. Guys, remember to send your dilemmas in the link in the highlights. We'll update the link in the highlights and on the Instagram pages just to make sure you guys have access to them. Any dilemmas, any questions, queries that you guys may have, send them in the link in the description. Also, if there's anything that you want to see us do specifically, content-wise, DM us. We will send out, what's the thing called? The questions thing for Instagram? The question box. Where you put on an Instagram story.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll send those out during the week so you guys can send us what you have. We've gotten some responses and we'll go through them as we can and serve you guys best. So we have a dilemma for you guys.
A thing
Thing to say no to others so you can say yes to God. And they pose it as a question, especially when it means disappointing family, friends, or even church folks. And then they would have titled it, or I guess I would have left sort of like an inscription saying people pleasing versus God pleasing.
Okay.
Learning to say no to others
so you can say yes to God.
Let it simmer in your thoughts. We don't need the sound effects, please.
You know, you put the chicken in oil. You know, cover it down here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Learning to say no
To others.
to others.
So you can say yes to God.
Yes to God. That sounds like a very compound, a very packed statement there. Question.
Is it? I don't think it is. I
Well,
think it's
The context.
fairly
The context will help.
it's fairly simple because she said, especially when it comes to disappointing family, friends, and church people, disappointing people to please God, saying no to people or saying no to situations to please God. So it could be a case where they're having a hard time or have experienced where they would have to say no to something or someone because it doesn't align with who they are as a Christian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had that instance before.
Yeah.
Somebody invited somewhere and like my friends would have invited me somewhere, but I don't go to those kind of places anymore. But it's hard for them. Well, let me not say hard. It's hard for us to get chances to hang out because everybody has such a busy schedule.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to the time for someone to choose somewhere, it's somewhere that's not
For you.
for
Not
me,
conducive.
Yeah.
not conducive for me.
Yeah.
They will change it up, and then
Yeah.
let's say them change it up, but I still, the time is not there because I have NYI
Yeah.
or I have practice on Thursday.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
they're bummed out that I can't make it, but I have
Yeah.
obligations. I will also try to find time where I can spend with them if I realize that too much of everything is taken away from socialization, because sometimes you do have to write in
Yeah.
to socialize, to have
Put in your
fun,
calendar.
to go
Go out.
out, to go
Yeah.
hang out, because
Yeah.
your life and your schedule can get very
Very
hectic.
busy. Very
Can,
Once
busy.
you
time can
wear,
get away
like-
from you.
Yeah, once you wear a lot of hats. So I have disappointed people in that case before, where I, because of things that I no longer do or places I no longer go, and someone would want to go there and invite me there, and I say no because that does not align with who I am
Yeah.
as a Christian. And of course, they'd be disappointed. Not disappointed in the fact that, oh, I say it's because I'm a Christian. I feel it's more disappointing in the fact that you're not making time to come
For
hang
them.
with us. Yeah,
It's like,
because
man,
it can turn to that very quickly.
You're never
It-
available.
But it depends on what you're saying no to. Because if, as you said, if you're where your friends will enjoy something and you know that you as a Christian or you can't be in those spaces anymore, then they will feel disappointed towards that request, not getting that request. But say for instance, they say they want to go out and eat some food, you won't say no unless you're busy.
Yeah.
So I think it would heavily depend on what you and the person used to enjoy before.
I think
Yeah.
before
that's
that-
why it's so
yeah.
important that when you become a Christian, it's not a closed, it's not a secret. You can't
Okay.
keep something like that as a secret, because if you want your environment to
Yeah.
be conducive
Yeah.
to your faith
Yeah.
and your spirituality as a person, you're gonna have to make it known that, hey, this is where I stand, this is who I am, this is
Yeah.
what I will tolerate, this is what I will not tolerate. And then it will be up to those persons within your environment, your home, your school,
Work.
sometimes even your church, work, wherever you go, to understand, okay, hey, I'm gonna keep hanging out with this girl because she's changed in some way, or okay,
Yeah.
let me try to make accommodations for her in my life, because it's not hard to make accommodations for Christians in your life. Trust. It's not hard. And it's not to say that because we're always busy or always have something to do, but hanging out for us does not always look like, oh, Bible study
Yeah.
or some. No, we love
Bible
road.
study and prayer meeting.
We love road bad. Bad. Up and down the street, uptown, downtown, round the way. We love road bad. So it's just that certain things that are of the world
Yeah.
that we don't even have to explain, because I feel like some people will understand the partying,
The drinking.
clubs, the
drinking
drinking.
to excess.
yeah, drinking to excess, the
Smoking.
smoking,
Yeah.
the gambling, those stuff. You know, people do know that, hey, once somebody become a Christian, no, them not do this no more.
But, that's the
Yeah.
thing. But even though you
And
do say that,
it's-
you have persons who
Don't know.
don't know, because
Yeah.
just like
That's
she's
true.
saying that her saying no to people and yes to God, maybe she have an experience where her friends are like, yo, we'll go road and we'll go up on the road. Alright, cool. But what do they do when they go on the road?
Yeah.
So that's the difference. If you know that's what your friend group does when you're on the road, then for her she's like, I don't think I can do that anymore. And you're
Yeah.
like, Bridget,
Yeah.
you're always part of the group. You see me? Like you need to be here, and that would.
But
I
that's
think-
the thing. Them, you can be there, but it's just where you do, where
Yeah.
you say what kind of activities
Yeah.
you know participate in. Wait a second, this.
I think a part of it sometimes when it comes to disappointing people is helping them to understand that your level of availability really is going to change. Especially if you are going through a season in which God is calling you to a higher level and you're going through like a period of fasting, or you're going through a period of really separation in which you want to spend focused in which you want to spend focused time with the Lord, it's going to be a case where certain times, even if you were a Christian, you weren't that busy necessarily in the church, it could be
Yeah.
a period in which you're going through a period of fast and you have to tell your friend, listen, certain hour nights, you can't call me.
Don't call my phone.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Not
That sounded very rough.
Not that rough. But you have to be like, hey guys, I can't come out. Or if you know that you personally were struggling with something before and your friends are just like, it might not be that big an issue to them, but you understand that that's a stumbling block for you as a Christian. That's be like, listen guys, as much as I enjoy your company, I understand say when we drink 2 drinks, we're gone and we can't catch it back again. So it's gonna have to be a point in which you have to explain to people like, hey, I love you, I appreciate you, but like you said, certain activities are going to have to change. Certain places I can't go to anymore. Certain things I just have to stop doing for the betterment of my Christian walk. And pardon?
No, continue.
I was gonna touch on the topic of, whilst we've been speaking about potentially disappointing people of the world, sometimes you're going to end up disappointing church members or your fellow Christians. And I'm taking it from the standpoint of intentionally becoming less busy in the church. So we wear several hats. We have several things we're involved in.
Fedora, fitted, snapback,
You get me?
tam.
We're involved in a lot of
Sherlock
things.
Holmes.
But sometimes there's a song in which God is speaking and he says, I miss my time with you, those moments together. I used to be with you each day, but it hurts when you say you're too busy trying to serve me. But how can you serve me when your spirit is empty? So sometimes we're running around doing this, that, and the third for the Lord. And the Lord is saying, hello, you've left me out of it completely. I need you to chop off. I need to take off some of these hats. And it's time for me and you to step together and be alone for a good little while.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes when people intentionally step away from positions in church, it can sometimes be interpreted as the person stepping away from the faith when it's not always the case.
No.
And because of that, people may have had expectations for what you could have been able to do, the positions that they saw you in.
Yeah.
But because you and the Lord had your conversation and he's just like, listen, you have to step back. And you decide to take that step back, you're going to end up disappointing some people. And some people might just have you up for it. Some people might think that you're backsliding because you decide that you want to step back. But it's for the betterment of your spiritual walk. You can't allow church work to get in to interfere with your Christian life.
Yeah.
You get me? And I think that sometimes is where some of us might have a bit of an issue, because it's just like, how do you say no to church?
Yeah, because just like how you say with church, because you have even persons in the church you disappoint as well when you decide to follow God the right way.
Yeah.
So you're going to have your people that go church, but they're not in the church. And you're going to start say, yo, I'm staying inside church. And like, brother, come outside of my reason. They're like, no, I'm going to stay inside the sanctuary.
Yeah.
And they're going to feel away, but like, yo, brother, this my dog. Like,
Let me say something about that feel away statement.
Oh.
Feel away.
It's probably one of my worst,
Nobody cares what you feel.
least tolerated
It's
statements.
probably feel away has to do with the person that feel the way.
All
Don't
right.
make it affect you at all, because if you are doing something right, you're bound to disappoint people,
not
whether
even-
it's
not
for
even
good
something
things
right.
or
Yeah.
bad things.
If you just want to be,
Yeah,
if you just
that's
want
so
to be different,
true.
if you just want to be different
You
in general,
if you are different, you're set apart, you're doing the right thing, and you tell somebody no, and their response is that they feel away, that has absolutely nothing to do with you. Feeling away, I'm glad you're in tune with your emotions. I'm glad that they're working. We're happy for you. Bless the Lord. Don't have nothing to do with the person that you feel away towards, especially if what they're
Doing
telling
is
you
correct.
no
Yeah.
for is for a good reason. If you feel away after that, well, let me tell you, it's nothing no wrong with you being disappointed or whatever, you know. But at the same time, it's a you thing. It's not on the other person. So if Brandon I tell you say no, I'm staying in church, and you out the road you feel away, you have to figure out why you feel away.
Yeah.
Why are you okay with doing
What you're doing.
what you're doing?
Yeah.
And why does it bother you so
That
much?
Brandon is
Because
doing the right thing.
I've learned that misery likes company.
Oh, it
yes.
does.
So if
100%.
you decide to make a change and be different, and you stop, and maybe even at church, certain conversations that would happen at church with persons who, go church but not in the church, they start move different, and they'll be like, yo, what? You look different. Why? What you're doing to us? Us not gonna be with you guys. I'm not gonna sit doing anymore. And then we're like, why not? Because I still doing things different, and they'll be like, nah, you hurt my feelings. Like, nah, we don't care. If me say me I follow God, and me I disappoint you, that is not my business.
Yeah, and you're
Yeah.
bound. That's what I'm gonna say. It's bound to happen.
Yeah.
As a Christian, you're bound to disappoint people. You're bound to make. You're bound to hear them say, "Oh, them feel away" and whatever. Christian and non-Christian.
Yeah.
Because you could be coming in the church, and whether you're newly baptized or you've been baptized for a while, once you start to say, Lord, I'm making myself available to be used in any way you want me to be. Because a lot of people are in the church and they're not saying that. A lot of people that come to church, they just come here to fill the benches and then go back home.
Yeah, one
It's a
bench.
ritual.
You say to God that, God, I'm putting
I
myself
want to be a
out there.
participator.
I want to, I volunteer as a tribute,
Tribute.
right?
Put me on the
And
team.
God is going to use you, and people are going
Starting
to
five.
start assuming and judging and saying, oh, well,
Yeah.
she just baptized. Oh, she had do so much things already. Or if you've been there for a while,
All it is
so
just-
what
all it
make,
is just
so
projecting.
all of a sudden, what make Brandon decide say, I'm gonna want to do this now? Look how long him there. Nothing to
Listen.
say. You know.
Why not me?
I see you stepping up.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. Something
Yeah.
like that. It's the same thing with non-believers as well, or persons that are not Christians.
All this
You'd be
projecting.
doing your thing, and let's say, for example, Saturdays used to be you and your family used to gamble and something, but because you become a Christian now, you decide to say, all right, I'm drawing back from that. So everybody I leave the house now for go out to the
Go
bar
bet
or
shop.
whatever and
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
And them say,
yeah,
yo,
yeah.
Candace here come, and I say, no, you know, remember, say, I'm baptized, so I stay home and do my thing. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, this year, this the program,
Yeah, go on, so
and
far.
whatever.
Yeah.
What program?
There's no program.
You
It's
when
not program.
yeah.
Listen, one thing about change, it will always be met with resistance. Whether it's a change
100%.
for the better or a change for the worse.
Yeah.
And you can't allow person talking to throw you off or to change your intentions for what you want and for what God wants for you.
In some ways, that's
People are always going to talk. Like I said, people are always going to talk. If you
Yeah.
step up, they will talk. If you step back,
Down,
they
they'll
will
talk.
talk. If
If
you
you're
do
not do
nothing,
nothing,
they
they're
will
not gonna
talk.
talk.
You get me? It doesn't matter. People are always going to talk. You can't be watching people's faces or listening to people's words. So they're always going to talk. They're always going to look at you some way, somehow. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I was saying it to my father the other day. You can do what you want to do. Cause who is going to beat you?
Nobody.
Nobody is going to beat you.
Nobody.
You can't beat me like your parents.
Nobody is going to beat
'Cause
you.
the funniest thing is that when you decide to be different, what's gonna happen is that they're gonna start looking. Because when you say yes to God and you have to say no to people, they're gonna try and the devil's gonna try and remind you of what you used to
Yeah.
have.
Oh my
And then
gosh,
they're gonna you're gonna check their statuses and their Instagram stories
Yeah.
and see them over here and doing this and doing that, and you're gonna be like, Jano,
Yeah. They're
I'm missing
gonna.
this. But
They're
in that
gonna.
moment,
Oh, sorry.
you have to make the transition from there, meaning you try to be involved with the things of God to kind of make it not
Yeah.
to make an alternative, but to align yourself with those things.
Yeah.
Because remember, the life that they live, it's got done one day, eternal life you have, So life, the life that got done unless they want to join you.
Yeah.
But that's the difference. And you don't want to be too focused on disappointing them, because I couldn't care less if I disappoint you. Like, that's not my business. If me tell you no, me tell you no. Because if I'm always with the foolishness. If me tell you no, that means it's not the foolishness I want to be a part of. I don't see it plain and straight.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be easy because you're moving from one place that
To
was
another.
regular life
Mm-hmm.
to know something different.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I'll say especially you will have some church people who you thought that they were like, not gonna say they're on your side, but how they were moving, you realize you're following God. You
You're
realize
moving mad.
they're not doing anything that they're supposed to be doing, and they're gonna start projecting that behavior on you.
Yeah.
You just have to just let them say whatever you say and make them do whatever you need to do.
I
Oh my
think
God.
something
Yeah.
that you might not be aware is happening, especially if you were coming from a position of being a non-believer to becoming a Christian, and you had a circle of friends. You making that transition effectively turns the mirror on them, because you used to do what they did. You used to think this was normal. You were fine doing it. But now you've made this drastic step. It's going to make them start to question, so why should I want to do that? Why would you want to change? What was wrong with what I was doing? Or not even what I was doing, what I'm still doing. Because your friend hasn't converted. You have converted. So it now puts them in a position to start to almost second guess their own patterns, their own habits.
Yeah.
And for some people, that can be a very uncomfortable place to be.
That's true.
It can
And
be
they will
very
project.
uncomfortable because now you're starting
To
to
look at
feel a little bit
yourself.
convicted. You're starting to realize that, hey, sin is kind of dirty. Me and you have always been rolling around in the mud. Me and two pig, we roll around in the mud. Mud is what we're used to. But the farmer comes and he's just like, okay, this one is the prize pig. And you take the prize pig out of the mud and you wash him off. And you treat the pig right and you show the pig off a walk up and down when you know it's judging time out of something there. And the pig doesn't want to go back in the mud. And when now you and regular pig end up buck up, you're looking at Wilbur like, oh my goodness, Wilbur, you're so clean. Now that you've seen what clean looks like, you
Wilbur and
realize that you're
Charlotte, that's why
dirty.
it's clean.
Exactly.
Come on, the man was oink, 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 oink,
Yeah.
oink.
You realize what
Oink.
dirty looks like because you've
Oink,
seen
oink.
clean. And that's why it's just like a city on a hill. That kind of light cannot be hid. And light allows you to know where darkness is.
True.
Yes.
You get me? Light allows you to know where darkness is and what darkness looks like. If you've always been in the dark, you don't know what the light looks like.
True.
But now that you've seen the light, it's not something you can avoid.
True.
It's no longer something you can hide away from. You get me? Okay.
You know who's an example of disappointing someone in the Bible would be Job. When Job was going through that period of distress
Yeah.
and turmoil
Yeah.
and just sufferation
Yeah.
and long suffering,
Yeah.
Job's wife told him,
Curse God
Why?
and
in
die.
order for you to, like, if you just, you don't, like she said, you're not see it. I'm trying to show you that you can be free of all of this disaster if you just curse
Curse
God,
God
and die.
and
She just said,
die.
boy, Job, you know, she said the whole world like tumble down around you.
Job's wife said,
Yeah,
But
just
you're
give up.
not clocking.
To be honest, you know,
It's not what Justin Bieber said. It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on tea. She said, you can just curse God and die.
Like, let's
And
give
this
up,
will
bro.
be, and you'll be over it. And she's looking at it at such a
So,
basic point
Yeah.
of view.
all right, you see how you say that now? I don't know if it's basic because that's all that she's seen.
Yes, Brandon, but that is basic because she just thinks, oh my God, we
She's
are so
seeing it
far,
from the
we are
world's-
dead,
from the worldly
whatever.
perspective.
But hold on,
It's like what Jonah say.
but
You know what?
Who doesn't think that Job wasn't thinking that way either?
Brendan.
Job had in mind, and Job understood
No, but-
that God's will might not be what his will is, but God is still faithful.
But I don't think Job saw it that way all the time. Cause
Nobody's refuting the claim
That
that
Job
Job
was upset.
He, of course,
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with him being
but you
upset.
can't say you
He
can't.
was
but
going through
I don't
it.
think you can say she started from a basic level though.
Brendan, oh my God.
Cause she and Job watched the breeze take when they pick me, you know.
Yes, Brendan, but at the same time.
But Job never cursed God.
Job, he was tapped into the supernatural.
Yeah.
Job was clocked in. Job said, all right, God, you are this is something not going on, I said, so, but I am trusting you to get me over this mountain. She said, I want to jump off the mountain into the valley.
Let's go
She
together.
said, let's us die.
Let's die.
Job said, no, we can't be thinking that way. And I'm sure she disappointed him in that case because she wanted to be free of the madness and the foolishness. What
She wanted to give up, and she was just like, let's lovers leap this thing and let's go.
Let us go.
You know, you have 30
I don't
minutes,
know,
Job.
I think Job, I don't know. I understand what you guys are saying, but you can't put all of it on her.
No,
You
we're
see?
not putting it
No,
all on her.
I'm just saying it's an example of
Example?
somebody being disappointed in the Bible.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I'm sure when she said that to him, she'll say, all right, you know what? Job might like the idea here if him feel like him want get rid of the stress and the trials and
You know
the
what's
tribulation.
funny? You know what you say to it's the same way how like girls will say it like you're on the road and they'll be like,
Let's just curse God and die.
no, it's like when they want food but they don't want to say they're hungry. They'll be like, that place looks nice. And that indirectly means I'm hungry. We should both
We should
eat.
try it. We should go there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like she's almost.
She
yeah.
was indeed disappointed when
Job-
he
Job was
told
like,
her.
nah.
Yeah, he's like, nah, I'm gonna tough this out because
Nah.
he could see
Ahead.
that, you know, I'm not necessarily
Yeah.
knowing if he's seeing what exactly was ahead, but he
He
understood
understood
that
bigger things are at play.
God, yeah,
Okay.
there is something,
Something's happening.
principalities and powers.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like Joe be ball first before him.
Of
before
course.
him
Of course, who
Because
does not bother
Job
in
sit
that
down in the
situation?
ashes.
If me
I
sit
have
down,
lost it all.
and then if me sit down in my dining room, I'm gonna watch Breeze just take on my 5 penny them.
10. Not
10
5,
my
10.
10. Just Breeze just come in. I think the scripture say, as some Breeze come in and take them away, you know.
Yeah, that's
If me see that, man, I say, nah, brother, Joe thing.
a
Oh my
squall
gosh.
came through and took the kids.
This disappointment could also be that's so hilarious.
What? No, imagine
Disappoint-
they at church and Breeze just come through
Squall.
and just lick up and lick up 3 baby out of somebody
A
and
squall came
God,
through and
that's
took the kids.
Terrible.
Honey,
brother,
a squall
know
took the
what
kids.
brother, I'd have been like, hey,
Listen,
I'd have tried to wake up.
that's
Try pinch
crazy.
yourself.
Yeah, I'll try to wake
Box
up.
yourself 2
Yeah,
times.
cause brother, that's
You know who we could kind of say was disappointed as well, but I don't think this is disappointing other people. He was disappointed in God. Jonah. We spoke
Yeah.
about today's
Oh, 100%.
word was Jonah,
mama,
and it was basically the
Jonah's
whole.
whole
Yeah, we know that story.
not appreciating God's mercy and grace to the people of Nineveh.
Was a real crash out. Peter was a YN. Jonah was a crash out. Jonah, I like the way how he talked to God. Like,
Yeah.
he never said to him, "Oh, master," whatever. Jonah
Jonah
said,
say-
"Me no said it I go do this, you know, and this is why me did not go to the place where you send me
Listen,
to."
him said before me left my yard.
Him said the
Me
person
know
before
said this was your to
I
go
left
do.
my country.
Exactly.
Me no said this I go
Him
do.
say,
I'm come
"You
here
really
and
me
I
left
this
me
you
yard?"
do because he knew who God was.
Yeah.
Jonah his mindset was judge, executioner, jury, the
Yeah.
whole works.
Him and the boy them for dead.
The people of Nineveh, he was like, you guys,
Could I get some
wanna too bad.
slap.
Too
So
bad.
hear what me I say.
get whop up.
Wanna feel like punishment is enough, wanna for just
Wipe off.
wipe out,
Oh, hold on.
poison the
So we can't.
pipeline,
so-
and poison everybody.
So we can't just say we have to sell like unalive.
Unalive.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
for TOS.
So,
Term
Jonah
of service, yeah,
said,
TOS.
Jonah
Lord,
said, Lord,
Let's take them out.
just wipe them out clean. Just put
Yeah.
something on the pipeline
Rub
when
them
them
off.
drink the water. Everybody just like,
Rub
you
them
know,
out.
Yeah.
like that. And God,
I don't think we can do that.
God said, Jonah, I want you to just go there and warn
Yeah.
the people.
Just warn the people. Them.
Warn them, you know. We're not gonna, cause God is merciful,
Yeah.
and that's what Jonah
Yeah.
in that moment
Realize.
did not want to happen, cause he's like, them bad, just write them
Yeah.
off same
And
time.
he's just like, I know if you find like 5 righteous people in there, you're gonna save the whole
Exactly.
place. Just like Lot,
He-
Abraham them.
Yeah.
Jonah, he crashed out on God. Him say, you make me left me yard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm no say you never did I go do nothing to the people.
I know
them
you weren't
because
serious.
you're nice and you're good and you're merciful and
Yeah.
you're faithful and you're loving.
And
But
probably
Jonah said, the way you're all my vex right now,
just take me
out.
just take me out, guys. 'Cause you know how upset
Jonah's
you
like,
have to be to say
I've had it
something
up
like
to
that.
here with you.
That must have been 13
I feel like
reasons.
Jonah was probably saying, that's why the man take a video to my youth.
Exactly.
Cause,
Yeah,
yeah, tell the man
too
you got,
nice.
You're now over the swiftness.
You're too
cause you gotta tell the man
nice.
you gotta burn up this. I'm gonna tell them say I gotta burn up this. I
And
ain't
you
burn
know,
up
but
this.
it's up.
He went off on a tangent. He's like,
Yeah,
yo,
man.
the way I'm upset right
Just take
now,
me out, yeah?
just take me
out.
out.
Like, listen,
But you
I
know,
can't bother.
Just take me
The
out.
interesting part was that when he got I think it was a tree. He was under the tree and God dry up the tree.
Yeah.
And
he balled for the
Jonah was like,
tree.
yo, where
We balled
And
for the
then-
tree.
To me, when I heard that part, I realized that the reason why Jonah balled out for the tree is because the tree had use.
Listen.
He didn't think the people in Nineveh had use.
Yeah.
That's why I'm ball out.
Yes.
And that's why I'm care.
It's-
And that's why the Lord care about.
Exactly.
people in
And
Nineveh.
that's why God was like,
Like,
You understand now?
do you think you should be this angry?
yeah.
Like I feel like he would have said from a place of concern, like,
Like,
why
Jonah.
are you railing up like this?
I should
Like,
be that
Why
Jonah.
do you want me to take
Be
you
so
out?
for real.
He's like,
Yeah.
Calm down.
calm down.
Cause
That reminds me of the sound with the ladies crashing out. It's just like, what? No, wait. I'm an adult.
you know what's funny? I think in the story of Job, I think Job had a conversation with God, and I think the Lord was saying to him, the Lord was essentially saying, "Did I ask you how the
Yeah,
how-
where
how-
were you when
where
the
were you-
heavens
were
were
you-
being formed?
Yeah, where were you when the rivers were being formed? Where
You
were
don't
you where the
understand
sky
that you're
was
just
being
a
formed?
dot, my boy? You're just a dot?
That's
A speck of
getting,
dust?
That's getting humble in the
Yeah.
wickedest way.
I think that's what the Lord did to Jonah said him humbly man say.
And there's a bigger message there to continue to show us that we as humans, can you imagine if we were the ones who really had the task of judging people?
Everything
Yeah, man.
Don't say the
Oh,
word. Just tell me don't say it.
everything was
God
everything
continues
was
to show
unalive.
us time. There are so many instances and stories in the Bible where God continues to be merciful. Because remember, at the end of the day, the man loves us too much. Oh, like him can't. He doesn't want to see us go
It's
out
not his
sad, guys.
It's not his will that
That's not
anyone
his will.
should perish.
That's why every time when we're telling us, say, Jesus Christ,
the
the way, the truth, the
and
life.
gets
Out
it
here,
on
so
today.
people will left you for
Not at all.
Not all.
nothing. Them will drop you.
Brother, man did a domino again for no money. No.
Yeah.
Exactly. And God is here time after time, taking you back into his arms, even when you don't even ask him
Yeah.
for forgiveness or
Yeah.
repent.
He's waiting on you to come back.
He's just that good. He's
I'm
just
waiting
that
for you to
awesome.
bend the
He's
He's
corner.
just that loving.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so with the dilemma, went on a
Shout
tangent
out
there.
to you for it, yeah.
But I hope you understand that if you feel like you disappoint people, you don't need to care about it.
As long as it's for Christ's
For
sake.
Christ, yeah, don't
Yeah.
care. Because I'm in a careless either, is me.
Yeah.
Do what you need to do. If you're saying yes to the Lord, say yes to the Lord. People will change. They'll never understand what your yes means to the Lord. They will never understand, but you understand. As long as you
True
understand,
word.
and you and the Lord,
Yeah.
you and the Lord talk, and him tell you a thing, and it's her, then it's a square. And you do the maths. Simple.
Exactly.
You don't have to wash no face.
Nope.
No watch no face. Stay in
No
the
watch no
lane.
face.
Stay in the lane, no watch no face. You see me? So,
Nobody can beat it, by the way.
No, it's not that. Don't let the Lord have to be the one that beats you.
Yes.
Because when
Yeah.
him come around for whop whop, you not make it out.
yeah. Yeah, so, have any announcements?
Wow. No?
No?
Candace's birthday is coming up, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a thing. Yeah.
Oh, if you guys watch the channel and you just graduated from high school
Congrats.
and finished your CAPE and your CSEC, congrats, big up to you. We're so proud of you guys. Like, when no say, that's a lot of stress.
Yeah.
So we're glad you
Stress.
made it out. If you graduated from college,
Big
proud
up
of you. Big
yourself.
up yourself. If you
College.
Yeah.
That's way in October.
no, but
No,
you know
some
if
of
you know if
them-
you matriculate by now.
For international viewers, some of them may have graduated
Yeah.
already.
And for local, the graduation might not keep, but you would know
Yeah,
if you
you'd
graduates
know,
already.
yeah.
And to our peppers,
Or papitos.
the mothers and fathers and
Of the
guardians
Don't
of
Don't
the
beat the them.
peppers.
Don't beat the youth.
Wow.
He
We're
will
not
do well.
saying that. We're congrats. We're proud of you guys. Continue
Yeah.
keeping up the good work. God bless you all.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you guys for all the love and support during these times. We appreciate you guys. Remember to share the videos, to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and all other platforms. We will be coming to Spotify very soon.
Very soon.
Very soon.
Can look out
Very
for
soon.
that.
We'll be coming to Spotify so you guys can listen to us in your ears everywhere across the world.
If you're not able to watch
You
it on
cannot escape our
YouTube.
voices. Yeah.
Cheers.
So
Thank you for watching this great space.
thank you for watching this great space. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Jesus Christ. Oh, also, as I said, the
The link
The
will be in
link
the
for-
description box
for the dilemmas.
and they'll be on IG.
Yeah, if you have any other,
Oh.
if you have any other comments,
Something else? Shout out to Prince Saj who had his album launched the other day.
Yes.
Sorry we couldn't make it, but we really
saw all the videos
yeah.
and the excitement.
Shout
I've
out
been
to
listening to
you.
it on Spotify too.
And big up to you and your performance coming up in August with CC. You're going to
Yeah.
up on the stage with Auntie CC.
I love
Big up on yourself.
you.
Say man,
And the
shout out to Prince
angels-
Saj.
Wait, and the angels cry. What is that song again? And the angels.
No, don't. Let's not go there.
People disarm them.
Jesus Christ is the way, the
Yeah,
truth, and life.
Get to know him today. And if you don't know him, you're moving mad.
Moving mad, bro. Thank you guys all for watching this.
Grace Space.
Bye, guys.
Bye.